this Sunday. Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp at mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrilled to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the MotorMouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
That's awesome. This is MotorMouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show, and I think we're going to have history in the making here today. So, I mean, it's just history in itself that the station is actually on the air. Last week we got blasted off the air. I guess all your questions and comments came true and knocked us off the air. I'm Chris Switzer, of course, in for the super voice, Ray Guarino, and of course, sitting in for me, the wonderful and exciting and very tall, hey, MatcoMan Brian is here with us. How are you, my brother?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Hopefully, we can stay on for the full hour and not the 18 minutes or whatever. It was pretty rough. I don't know how much more history making we can make on this.
I know this is definitely like the 1-2 punch here. Yeah. So this is one of those things that I find fascinating. We've actually are relying completely on technology for this program, because in the old days we would have just taken the day off and played a glorious repeat. But today we have technology, and literally we're just victims of technology with this. And of course, running our board at the studio, the illustrious Kim Tracy is keeping an eye on everything there, because I'm still in the nutmeg state, and you, Brian, are down in Maryland. This is like a first.
It's something else. It's kind of great if it all comes together. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
We can make it through.
I'm moving the handle on the clock now, to speed it up. No, it goes too fast. It goes way too fast, Chris.
It is, yes. We've always said it's unfortunate. We always call it the fastest hour on radio, and it really is.
Yep, that's true.
So the reason why Ray is not with us today, he's basically at the MALBA show in Whitestone, Queens, the MALBA car show, and it is run by Billy G, the illustrious Billy Velvet, and hopefully Ray will be calling us very soon to give us the updates on the goings-on down there. I like to call it like the posh show, the Velvet show. It's like the upper crust show where people are invited to be. You have to be invited. It's like Pebble Beach, the Pebble Beach of Queens.
I got to make sure I got my gray Poupon then, right?
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry.
We'll meet each other in our Rolls Royces and just pull up next to each other. Pardon me, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes, that's the type of upper crusty type of show it is. So hopefully we'll be hearing from Ray very soon. It's a very good show. If you want to see, I like to say it's a car show done right. Yeah. I mean, there's a band, there's food, there's stuff for the kids. There's trophies up the wazoo. And that's not a category from last I heard, but it's good. So hopefully we'll be hearing from Ray very soon. How are you? How was your week this week?
Man, it's crazy. It's in the blink of an eye, we're right back here. It goes by way too fast, and like I said, it's just hold on, put the seatbelt on, and hopefully you don't miss a gear when you're shifting.
It's the truth.
It's crazy.
It's funny because I've come to realize that this program has morphed into many ways and has taken many turns throughout the 20 somewhat years we've been on on the air. And I have found, do we have a call? We do have a call.
Have a call. There's the sign. Is that round one? Is that the sign there?
Let's throw him on the air. I'm too busy talking to my radio colleague. Let's throw him on the air and say, hi, you're on with the MotorMouths.
Hello. I'm testing technology with MotorMouth.
Wow, Tom, you sound like cosmic.
Wow. God bless American technology. I just thought you guys would like it. I wish
Tom, we're going to have to let you go because you're in that space.
Look, like last week, Chris, I stopped by the bank and I got a whole bunch of quarters so I can keep feeding the machine so we can stay on. I mean, come on.
I'm so glad because all I got was dimes.
Oh, man, I tell you. Man, we got...
I hate to get the number out again, but
what was that? The reverb box, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the old days.
I don't know. It's one of those multi audio feeds that are just coming in all at once.
Well, we are plugged into everything, so.
Yes, well, hopefully Kim is working feverishly over there, so we'll see what happens. 516-572-7440. This is going to be good. Like I said, keep listening, gang, because this is going to be really good. 516-572-7440, or you can text us. Now, Brian can't text us now because he's busy, but you can text us at 203-670-4127. That's 203-670-4127. Write it down. But yeah, so that's basically if you can get in touch with us one way or the other way. And it's so funny. Kim, I'm so glad you're there to do this.
Not with that look.
So please bear with us. Brian may have to go and feed the dogs. I don't know. I hear him barking, so I don't know.
Yeah,
someone's at the door. I don't know. It's a lot of inputs going. I don't know what's going on. But, well, we're not gonna give out the phone number right now, but I will talk a little bit about automobiles, and just on a slight, this is one of those annoying things, Brian. I don't know if this happens to you. It's been certainly happening to me lately. I've come to realize I can no longer clean a windshield properly. I can't do it. I've tried. On my Chrysler, I pulled it out of the garage and it had like a coating of dust on it from the garage. And I was going to take it to a car show with my cousin. He's got the Camaro, and I was going to take the Chrysler. So of course it's like, okay, get the Windex, get a couple pieces of paper towel, clean the windshield. I clean the windshield, and now of course I look at it in the sun, and you see these white streaks going across. I'm like, okay, I'm losing it. Let me just try it again. So I go and do it again. So I'm going up, down, sideways. Not working. Let me get a piece of newspaper. I remember my great uncle used to say, use newspaper. He used to use it on his Packard or whatever it was. So use the newspaper on it. Still nothing. I'm like, what? I'm trying different. I tried 409. I tried naphthalene. I've tried everything. I'm still getting these streaks. I'm like, and of course, I'm talking to my cousin with the Camaro, and he goes, yeah, I can't clean a windshield either. And I'm looking at his car, which is immaculate, by the way. It's so much in better shape than mine. And I'm looking at that, and I'm going, you can't clean a windshield. What the heck? So we're frustrated. Give me a tip. Help me out here.
It's crazy that you talk about that because I've been playing around because I can't clean the windshield on my vehicles either.
Okay.
I even went out and spent the big money for streak free. And man, I left streaks all over the place. So I'm like, okay.
There was no charge for the streaks.
Yeah. And, but believe it or not, there was some stuff called Miami. It's a crystal, or it's a powder form. You get it at the hardware store or some older grocery stores, and you sprinkle that on, or you wet that down, sprinkle it, and it does really clean, and it does. Now, I saw something the other day, and I have not tried it, and I am a firm believer in WD-40. I use WD-40 on everything.
Really?
And this guy said, clean the windshield with WD-40. Now, you do need to have 2 microfiber cloths because you apply it with one. And as you put it on, you let it settle, and then you come back, wipe it, flip the mat rag over, and then wipe it again. Yeah. And he swears by it. Now,
holy smoke, I gotta try.
I haven't tried that yet, and that's my next thing, because I almost drink WD-40. I mean, that's like a cocktail for me. I mean, you know, I'm a firm believer. I use WD-40 on everything. I never even thought about spraying it on glass. So,
it gives you a nice shiny complexion. So
hey, it works great. It works great bringing the highlights out. You know,
I see. Very nice. Exactly.
So, but it is funny. And then you get into the cleaning of the glass and trying to keep it clean. You know, it's I don't know what they've done or changed, or that's just like windshield wipers today. The rubber content or whatever they're made of, you know, they're junk. I mean, it does nothing last on that. So it's crazy.
I remember when windshield wipers almost last the life of the car.
Yeah.
Really. I remember those days. And now it's, like you say. And I'm always thinking, I mean, sometimes I am frugal when it comes down to some parts of the car. And windshield wipers is like, I'll go into Walmart and complain about a windshield wiper price. I'm like, $17 for one blade? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
And so I'll buy the Telcos or the Flip Bows or whatever they are. And at like $6.99 a piece, and you got to replace them every 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially, being a guy, we just kind of like, oh well, I'll look through the raindrops, you know.
Right. I'll meander through the streaks.
Yeah, but when you have a house full of women, and it's like, hey, Dad. Or, by the way, when you change those windshield wipers, they don't clean very well. I mean, that's a whole different story then, you know?
You're left to a higher standard.
It's kind of like, just look through the raindrops, and that doesn't go over too well. So
roll down the window and stick your head out.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you could use a sock. I mean, you can always put a sock on the windshield and just, let it go. But I guess that fashion hasn't made it yet. I don't know. So,
I love it. We're talking about complexion and fashion tips here.
We got it, man. We got it all. We got everything covered. Wait till we start talking about cooking. I mean, we already, I mean,
cooking with WD-40, right?
Just about.
Don't try that at home.
No, please don't. Please don't. I don't need any more love letters about that.
Right. Save all your questions and comments. Don't try that at home. I always would have to do that to Ray every once in a while. I always have to say, I have to throw a disclaimer out. The views and opinions of MotorMouth Radio are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPC. As you can tell, I have memorized it.
That's right. It's good.
So Chris is in for Ray. Brian's in for me on this fine, upstanding Sunday. Ray, I think, is probably he's waiting in line at the DMV or something like that, waiting for it to open up tomorrow morning. So he's just standing there milling around.
That's a poor guy.
Yeah. 516-572-7440. Hopefully Kimmy's like, all right, let's give this a shot. We've already had what do we have? I can't remember. Who do we have that was
it was Tom from Massapequa.
Tom, that's right.
And I think he did it on purpose.
It's like I just drew a blank. I didn't remember who it was. That's right. Tom from Massapequa has called us from outer space, which of course is probably going to make the next promo.
That's
which he always does. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and you can also text us at 203-670-4127, seeing if that works as well on this fine, upstanding Sunday here at MotorMouth Radio. It is it's going well so far. Still looking at the clock going, oh yeah, okay.
Haven't been pulled yet. We haven't had that plug pulled yet, but Chris, you know what weather this is, and you know what's coming up.
Get the snow shovels out, I guess.
Well, this is pumpkin spice weather.
Oh, I missed a season.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you know what happens after that? That's old man winter. Old man winter's coming. So
yes,
as the weather is nice now, because don't take any hints from me. Because usually when I decide to do this, there's about 6 inches of snow outside on the ground.
Your timing is impeccable.
It's slightly off, but we need to start thinking about getting the car ready for winter.
All right.
And we need to, make a little list while it's nice. You can go out and kick the tire, look over things. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, but, just a general look over. Maybe test that battery.
How would you test the battery?
Well, it's fairly simple. As because Ray's not here, we do have a very simple battery tester.
It looks like a cheese grater with two clips on the side.
Your clips, red for positive, black for negative.
It's amazing how many people mix those up.
Well, it does
happen. Ask me how I know.
But like I said, these are fairly cheap. I mean, you can pick these up. They're around $25-$30. Mm-hmm. And you can test the battery just by putting a simple load with a switch down here on the bottom, like on this one. Okay. And it'll test the battery. And, rule of thumb, most people think a battery will last forever.
Yes.
And about, but on average, about 4 years, you guys, you're on borrowed time after 4 years.
I agree. I will pull a battery between 4 and 5 years, whether it's starting or not. Although I have to laugh, my mother-in-law has actually gotten 11 years out of a battery, which I was in shock. Wow. So, all right, let's hold on. I think I see a blue light flashing.
That's it. All right.
Someone is crazy enough to give us a call right here at 516-572-7440. Kimmy, I'm as ready as you are.
Sorry, Ray.
I think that was Ray.
That was Ray. Sorry, Ray. We got a little echo feed there. That box is really working overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Kimmy is still trying to feverishly. What? Do you want to try it again?
Try it now.
Let's give it a shot. Let's try it.
Right. There's nothing like the Wayback Machine. Just throw it in the meat grinder and let it get.
All right, so we're not going to be working with the phone. So text us 203-670-4127. It's the number that goes straight to the Nutmeg Studios here at MotorMouth Radio. 203-670-4127. So other things that you could use to winterize your vehicle, especially like you say on a great day like today, other than testing your battery. What else, Brian, can you Well,
I just have a little list, and you just go through and you check your coolant, make sure you do that when the car is cold and not hot. That's a pressurized system. So
yes,
but you could pick up these test equipment, a tester for the coolant. And then all this stuff is fairly cheap. Right. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist or, a master mechanic to check to make sure everything is good. But at least because unfortunately in today's world, you can spend 5.5 hours sitting in the beltway because of bad weather or ice, or you get caught. I hate to sound like my father and be prepared, but in today's world, you kind of have to be prepared,
And it's real easy to overheat your engine in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
It can happen. It can certainly happen. I know it actually happened to me one time with an abundance of snow. I had a Ford Bronco, and literally snow packed the front of the car.
Yep.
And to the point where no air was getting through. And I'm looking at the temp gauge going up, and it's like 20 degrees out.
Yeah.
So I'm amazed. I'm like, holy smokes, what is this? And I had to pull it over and get out and just get the brush. I got the brush and brushing the roof. I'm brushing the grill, and it actually, the snow was like so microfine, it actually got past the grill and was packed onto the radiator itself. So yeah.
But like you even said with that, I mean, when you're out, and just like I said, if you pick up ice scraper and a snow brush, because we all do it. It's on the back of our minds, or we set it in the side, and then all of a sudden that day comes, and you're out there trying to find an old CD to scrape off the ice that's on the windshield, and of course we don't have CDs anymore, so you can't, unless you're okay. Ooh, I think Kimmy's on the. Kimmy's got it. Oh, we got the bat phone. The bat phone's back up and running.
I think it is. Wait, I got the finger. Only it was. I hope that was not that finger.
So, give it a shot now.
Let's try it again. We're going to go to the phones, I think, at 516-572-7440. I'm reading the phone number very slowly because I don't see the light flashing.
It was
516-572.
It isn't flashing because Kim already picked up the call.
Oh, okay. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, radio greatness himself, the lovely and beautiful host of MotorMouth Radio, and what's that other show you do on Thursday?
Playing in traffic. Hey, Ray, can we get on with the proceedings? The ice cream is melting. The ice cream is melting. Listen, we're here at the MALBA show up at Whitestone. It's the 65th year of the show, if you can believe that. The celebration is for 1965 vehicles, and I turned 65 today. So I got to play the number when I get home.
Yeah, I was going to say happy birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, go. If you're listening and you're at the MALBA show, go jump into Ray's arms.
Yeah, there you go. So listen, I got Bill with me here. Billy Velvet, pulled off another one. Let him tell you about it.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Billy Velvet. I heard it's a great show.
So today was record setting, and we're flirting close to 140 cars. I think I'm at 136 unofficially. So record setting in the 25th year here at the helm. It was last week I called it off on Friday because of the weather, and it was a good decision. In fact, I had guys texting me saying, "Can you pick my lotto numbers up for Wednesday?" But that's behind us now. Everything is working out great. Ray's car is is the vision of what the anniversary is about, 65. So the vision is the 65 GTO flanked by a 65 Malibu SS and flanked by a Chrysler 300L in front of the Unisphere of the World's Fair, 65.
Right.
And it took off. The T-shirts are selling like wild cakes. And that's because of the graphic design done by Jennifer Lynn Design, LLC, Ray's daughter, Jennifer. Thank you, Ray.
Very good. You get all that, guys?
We got
awesome.
It.
Oh, good.
We got most of it.
It's another one of those shows where, you can't pick a favorite. You can't pick. One car is nicer than the next. And the people are just phenomenal. I'm talking to strangers, guys I never met, and everybody's on the same page over here, which is phenomenal. It's really like a goodness and wellness show, kind of. There's no attitudes, nothing. Nothing bad. Everything is positive at this place. It's phenomenal.
Wow. That's nice to hear at a car show, but we know we wouldn't expect any less from a Billy Velvet production. That's for sure.
It's awesome.
For sure.
Ray, can you give us like the exact location of the show? Because I know it's on MALBA Street, but
the show is closed off. The gates have been closed for a while, but if you go to Boulevard in MALBA, in Whitestone, Queens, that's the location. You can still walk in. Or if you want to go over the Triborough Bridge, hit the Queens, Whitestone, what did I say? Triborough? Whitestone Bridge, jump off, swim through the canal, through the cove, and you'll come right up on the surf side. But, I think
I got most of that.
The address is Boulevard in MALBA. And
you're coming in very garbled. It sounds like you're underwater, but we're going to try. We're trying to pick out the good parts as you go.
The other thing is it's a real eclectic collection. I mean, we have from Ferrari, Spiders, we got a 55 Nomad done, a beautiful car. We have roadsters. We got rat rods. We got Corvettes. We got muscle cars. Everybody really came out.
And Billy, what's the car that you're featuring? What's sitting in the middle of the street that's roped off? What's your rope off car?
Well, this is because it's a special year. The square is open to the people this year, and the whole theme was to bring back the big children's games. So I have 2 solid hours going on right now with children's events of all kinds. So we need the space. But I have a vintage 1980s, back in my years on the job, Grand Fury. I got Highway Patrol here. I got the Community Affairs here. So we're the answer to your question is the square is open. It's open for everybody this year.
Wow, very cool. And with all of that police presence, everybody is well behaved.
Well, yes, there's a method to my madness that if I have a detail here, I don't have to worry about guys doing bleach burnouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want them leaving the show rapidly. You want them.
I'll tell you how good it is. I came flanked by 2 retired policemen in the cars that we drove here. So I had my own police escort into the show.
I love it.
All right. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And the other thing is, I go deep in the trophies. We do 37 trophies. I do, of course, the Commodore's pick, which is my eclectic pick for the theme that I have in my head. That whole idea of that was the car if you were out and you went back around the block to do a double take or something you saw in the driving garage, or you're in a diner and you're having dinner with the wife or whatever, and you say, "Excuse me, I got to go to the men's room." Meanwhile, you're on the parking lot talking to the car that just pulled in. So that's the car I single out. And then we have the high vote car, the Dina Cup, we call it. And then we have the peer ballot cars, which are voted by the car owners. We give out 25 awards. And we go, they pick out 1, 2, 3 picks. And then I do the chairman's choice. Those are the cars that I walk around. I single out a certain theme, and I call up 10 cars and present them with a trophy. So we go 37 deep.
Wow. 37 trophies, 37 themes. Yeah. That is amazing. It's almost to the point where everybody's going to walk out with a trophy, the way it sounds.
No, there's almost 140 cars here. So
that's incredible.
It's going to be judiciously assigned.
Yes.
So,
listen,
you guys get back to talking. I can't wait to hear how you guys did. I'll listen to the show later and, have a good rest of the show.
And thanks for having me on, gentlemen. Brian, good talking to you. Chris, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Billy. Always a pleasure, and have a great show. And we hope we see each other very soon.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Be safe.
You guys play nice.
Yeah. Yes, and right now we're coming down to the bottom of the hour.
It's all you, Chris. It's coming down to the bottom of the hour. I hope you have something there for us.
Right. So Brian, feed the dogs and hang out a little bit, because now I have to get back into professional radio mode, which is really frightening. I have to dust my chops off here, because we're going to start off first with the WHPC weather forecasts powered by Pantanos, with locations in Hewlett, Uniondale, Garden City Park, Freeport, and now open in scenic, glorious Levittown. Today's forecast, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers after 2 p.m., so bring 20% of your umbrella. Mostly sunny with the highs around 78. Tonight we'll see a chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorms. Showers are possible, thunderstorms maybe after 2 a.m., so if you're out gallivanting around, you're going to get wet. Lows will be dropping down around 65. No air conditioner necessary. Monday, showers, thunderstorms also possible after 2. Highs will be topping out around 71. Presently, it is 76 WHPC degrees with a mix of sun and clouds right here right there at the campus of Nassau Community College. Here in the Nutmeg State, no one cares what the weather is. At least that's what I have heard, the feedback from our listenership. Brian, how's the weather by you?
Well, we've got the rain that's coming to there. So it's raining right now. So that's one of the reasons why the pups are upset, because they want to go out and play, and they haven't learned to put their little galoshes and raincoats on yet. So that's what we got. We got the rain and the cool weather. It's nice. It's 68, but you know,
that's cold.
Come on,
that's way too cold.
But
So also after this program and after the fantastic Thunder Road with Kim Tracy comes Piano Man this Sunday. It's a Sunday and every Sunday at 3 p.m. And where else but Long Island would you find a radio show devoted to the music of Long Island's own Dee Snider? No, Billy Joel. Hosted by Chris Muldoon, he digs deep into Billy's catalog to include live performances, interviews, demos, and covers, and suitcases and blankets and whatever have you. So if you love Piano Man, you will love Piano Man. It's going on this Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. after Thunder Road. And of course, what else do I have to do, Brian?
You have to get to the bottom of the hour of
that thing I do at the bottom of the hour, right?
Yeah, the thing that you do at the bottom of the hour. Now you threw me for a loop. Thanks. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, my turn again. It's the MotorMouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. And of course, this is what we do. We honor all these individuals in this 1 hour that have this one thing in common. And this week, you recognize individuals based on the cars they drive. When you are on your daily commute, do you have a whole host of random people that you recognize every day solely on their cars? And there's always that one guy still commuting with a 78 Chevy Nova. Do you see people at a town carnival or a kid's school event or a block party around the corner and say, hey, is that the guy with the Porsche? Or is that the guy with the Audi? Yeah. Is that guy? Is the tiny woman with the big Chevy Suburban? There she is. She's right over there. Do you keep a mental note of what vehicles your neighbors own and when they buy them and sell them? Well, if you know your neighbors, not by their name, not by their kids, not by their dogs, but by their cars, then you are part of the MotorMouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. There you go. Kimmy, it's all yours.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
You're listening to the MotorMouth.
Hey, Ray and Chris.
Did you guys read my mind?
Okay, I appreciate you having me on.
Wow, you guys finally figured it out. MotorMouth! This is great. No more foolishness.
I miss my paisans.
You're a funny guy. I've been waiting for Sunday just to ask you guys this question.
Our trained staff of 2 will help.
Well, good afternoon, guys. I need a little advice.
All right, so you got me to call in. All right.
I don't know everything. You know, you guys are mechanics. You guys have a great show. Thank you very much. I come with a tale of woe and a warning for the younger guys.
Chris is doing jumping jacks. He's getting ready. Ray is right behind me.
Every time I get off the air, I think,
MotorMouth!
Oh, boy, they're never going to ask me back after that one.
Yeah, this is a collect call. How are you?
Quite frankly, there are better things to do with your time.
Oh, I probably called the wrong number. I was trying to get a hold of Ray. And I wake up screaming.
So I'm very happy to listen to your good advice.
Yeah, I want to know what is wrong with my car.
You know, break it down for us call guys. All right, see you next weekend.
MotorMouth!
I know you guys usually speak Guido,
right,
and now you're talking Pintel and Yiddish, and this morning I happened to listen to the rabbi on your station. So it's all, you know, I guess today's Yiddish then.
Right.
There are answers, sometimes correct ones, and we may have them.
MotorMouth Radio, 90.3 FM, WHPC.
Your MotorMouth Radio, 516-572-7440. Chris Switzer in for Gray Romano. And you got, hey, MatcoMan Brian.
in for Chris. I don't know how that all works out, but I'm in for you, but you're there. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, it must be something to do with radio. I mean, it's, it's okay.
Yeah, it's we're trying to make it a visual medium here. Yeah, but and that's what I love about it, because we're in for each other, and we're like 1,000 miles away from each other.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but hopefully, I meant to ask when we were talking about the weather. I know this isn't a weather station and this thing, but did you have any outcome from the hurricane, or leftovers, or pieces or parts?
Actually, no. It was we literally had a stiff breeze. That was it. Literally, we had no problem. How about you? How's the Maryland coast?
It was a little, I mean, it always gets a little beat up, but it was nothing, I guess it was far enough out or whatever. It was kind of strange because they were, how the world is. Oh my God, it's the end. And then the end came and went. So,
But it's so funny because every time you see on Facebook, they'll show you like 2 lawn chairs and one's down. And of course the meme is, we will rebuild. And I'm like, don't say that. Yeah. Because there's going to be a day when you're going to have to rebuild. Yeah. And that's, so I'm always like one of those type of individuals. Like I can't make fun of that, because next thing you know, it's going to be you. And with me, it was Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
When back in 2012, and I had to laugh, but not laugh. It's funny. It's funny in a strange, peculiar way, because I remember driving through Brooklyn, and Brooklyn never flooded. And I drove through Brooklyn, and there was literally, you could see debris. It was like 6 feet up on cyclone fences all around you, and there were cars on fire. And I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this a flood? And I'm trying to figure out, I mean, other than like salt water getting into any sort of electronic component, the only thing I could figure that would cause a fire. It's unless there's any other theory. So there were a lot of cars. I mean, I must have went past about a dozen of them that were. Well,
you got to remember, we only have an hour, so we can't get into too many theories. So we'll keep it on the light side on that. Okay. We don't want to get started, but it is just crazy, and hopefully, like I said, you guys don't see stuff like that up that way. It never, very rarely, you get the aftermath, maybe a lot of rain, and luckily it was still warm, because then you get dumped on with snow. So, it's kind of, I guess they call that a nor'eastern or whatever.
Yes, nor'easter.
I got to watch. I'm not a professional.
Well, what do you guys do when you get hit with a large amount of weather? I mean, do you got to put sandbags along the bottom of the garage or something?
No, technically I am still in the Bay area, or the Chesapeake Bay is our main water.
Right.
And I am on the outskirts, even though it's a good 45 minutes or maybe an hour away from me. But, that I'm in that water line, I guess, or where it could. And we don't have that much problems or anything in this area. So it's fairly good. But when it rains, dude, it rains, and we get the standing water. It's surprised how much we do get, but we don't have that. We've never had that much of a problem yet.
How are your vehicles as far as leaks are concerned? I touched the nerve now.
Yeah, well, I spent $1 million on a tool truck, and I got to wear a wetsuit when it rains. So, it's kind of amazing. Actually, it's really bad, and they blame it because of the size of the mirror on the truck, and it's the weight, and that's why the door doesn't shut. I mean, I've taken it in for this, and this is what they say. Not I don't want to go bad mouthing anything, but it is kind of funny on the wet season, especially the passenger side. I do tape the door. I have clear tape, packing tape across the top so it doesn't leak. And somebody will I say, you can't get in. No passengers, because I got to remove the tape, So, That is kind of funny that you say that, because I do get wet. So it's like having a convertible with no removable top. So
that's hysterical.
Yeah.
It's $1 million truck. You can't keep it dry.
No, it gets wet. So it's one of those things. So, but, you know, it's something we live with.
Right. That must be a pain in like 40-degree weather that you're getting weathered. And it's cold. I don't know about you, but I do not like wet shoes at all. At all. I like my feet nice and dry.
It's really crazy. And other guys that have the same truck, they have the same, I mean, you know, it's just the characteristic of the truck, and so it leaks a little water. I mean, I just look at it this way. At least the rainy season's only about 2 weeks, so we move on. You know,
I would be buying tubes and tubes of silicone and siliconing the heck out of that thing. I'd be going around the windshield with it, going around the door, doing everything I possibly could. I'd be building channels. And
it was funny because
pipe running out.
I had gotten some tubing, and I actually slit the weather stripping, and I stuck it in and slit it, to give it, a thicker, more.
Right.
But then the door was sprung loaded. Like I closed the door, and it's like it's getting ready to explode. It's like you open the door and get hit. So I was like, I don't have time for this. So it was kind of tough.
Wow. I had a Mazda. I had an RX-7, the first gen, many years ago. And someone, when I bought the car, I didn't do it, but someone was silly enough to cut the hole in the roof and put one of those, whatever they were, those
sunroof things.
Sunroofs that just pops open. And of course, when I got the car, it must have leaked and they siliconed it shut. So, of course, you can't open it anymore. And I'm like, well, that was kind of dumb. Why'd they do that? So, of course, I razor blade the silicone so I get the glass out. And then, of course, I peel all that silicone off, the blobby stuff that they put on. And then I did exactly what you said with you ran a piece of tubing through there. I just ran a bead of silicone in between the gasket to, like you say, make it a little bit more thicker. And then I let it dry, and I put the glass top back on and snapped it shut. And it's exactly the way you said. I needed 2 hands to snap it shut, like, and then I was like afraid to open it because it was probably going to shoot into the atmosphere. So yeah.
It'd be like James Bond, the ejector seat thing. I mean, that top. I mean, that's like
yeah. Don't hit the red button. Don't pull that red latch. Yeah. So it was kind of funny, and the good thing about it was it didn't leak anymore. So wow. I was very pleased, and I've been doing that. Like I had an Buick Electra convertible, and the trunk leaked. So of course that rubber seal was flattened, and I did the same thing. I just popped the trunk and ran a bead of silicone around the inside of the gasket, and just left it there to dry with the trunk open, and then closed it, and it was fine. It was fine. Yeah. It didn't leak anymore. So saved myself a gasket installation, and I don't think I've installed the gasket yet, other than something that's not torn and ripped and not there. I always say, if the part is there, I can mess with it. If it's gone, now it's like, so speaking of gone, how's my Audi doing?
It, believe it or not, it's coming along very slowly.
Because I listened to you on Thursdays, and I was laughing at your fuel line hijinks.
Yeah, so. Well, of course, I spent $1 million in connectors and lines, and still end up with the wrong one. And but I got that going, and it was actually kind of funny because I'm actually running out of time. I might end up having to come into the garage here because I want to get I got to put a clutch in it. I mean, the clutch is gone.
Right.
And it was funny. I got it all up and running, and I drove it around the backyard, and I was trying to find a spot that looked good for, laying out in the yard to pull the transmission. and all of a sudden the gas pedal breaks. The pedal goes to the floor, and now the car's just idling. And I don't know if I have them here.
It's better than going full out.
Yeah, well, I was like, what the heck, and the pedal's down. And, of course, it's, a big guy like me climbing underneath the dash. But a little rubber bushing disintegrated where the cable goes through.
I like the hand gesture. It was very
well, I mean, that's basically how it went. And
you'll be seeing that on MotorMouth Video, believe me. Brian and his hand gestures, yes.
But a good buddy of mine, Tom, over at the Volkswagen dealership, he's got several 4000s, and I talked to him, and he's like, come on by, because you're not going to find them. And I've got some grommets, and so now I need to go out and wedge myself up underneath the dash and change that over so I can get that back together. But
wow,
I did think about hooking a shoestring up and coming through the center vent, but I gotta try to keep it. Put a big enough spring in a shoestring. You can do anything. So I'm really. Chris, I'm really trying not to MacGyver this thing too much. I mean, I do want I want to drive it, but I don't want to like take out a life insurance policy every time I got to go down the road,
Right. That's perfect. I love it. I just love hearing the stories. I just sit and smile. I'll scrub through the Thursday show. Oh, good. Brian's talking about the Audi. Let me go back. Okay. Now, This is entertainment now.
The things that we do, like I said, I can get away with like a shoestring and a spring on the throttle, you know what I'm saying? But anybody else driving it, yeah. So, but I do have to admit, it was nice. I did cut the exhaust off.
Ooh.
And hearing that 5-cylinder has a whole new sound, so it was pretty good driving it around like that. So
and the neighbors are loving you. I'm sure.
It's all right. They'll get over it.
Not the worst thing that made a lot of noise in your yard.
No, trust me on that. So, but so hopefully the weather, like I said, I mean, that's going to be the problem now. I kind of played around, and I'm hoping that I can get the thing pulled out, and I've already got the clutch and everything. So take the flywheel. I really don't want to drive around. I might have to go get the flywheel turn, and that's unfortunately it's one of those things, a dying thing. There's no machine shops around. I mean, there's no, that secondary or not secondary, but that industry is either you got to send it out someplace, or you hope that you can find somebody that isn't completely backed up with so much stuff, because they're the only ones,
It's true. It's true. I'm having a hard time up here too. And even in New York, it was worse.
Yeah.
In New York, I could literally walk to a machine shop with my old neighborhood, and now forget it. They're gone. They're all gone. So it really is a chore to do exactly like what you're saying, something like that.
Unless I go and get a belt sander and a belt and try to cut it out myself, it's kind of crazy with that. And
right. And you want it not only smooth, but you want it completely flat. I mean, you don't want any chattering or chirping or anything like that.
Right. So, and I don't, like I said, that was it needed a clutch. That's why I stopped driving it many moons ago. And here we are. I drove it around. The dog's chasing me. The wife thinks I lost my mind because I'm driving the car around in the backyard. But I was like, I got to find the right position, so that I can jack this thing up and get it out. So
I'm just shocked you're going to work on it outside. A job like that. I've done all the clutches I've done have been outside. I don't want to do another one outside again.
Well, if I had a little bit of room in here, I've gone back and forth. I was like, man, I really might have to. The Mustang's on the other side of On this,
that wall of stuff.
My wall that divides that side of the garage to the other side. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could push the Mustang up, and then I do have a scissor jack lift. So,
nice.
It is. I mean, but I got to do it difficult, Chris. I mean, I need the rough and tough. I need to show that I can still, use duct tape as a band-aid and stuff like that. I don't want to make it simple.
Right.
How dare you?
There's got to be a story. I get it. Yeah, because no one wants to hear your success.
Oh, that's right. I mean,
so Brian brought his vehicle into the heated garage
with the Grey Poupon because
next to his rolls.
That's it. I just didn't have a regular hot dog. I had a foot long. You know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly. Yes, I get it. You got to make a story out of it, and it is the truth, and it is what has kept us going for over 20 years. Is making that story out.
Yeah.
It's just I don't tell the stories about doing work on vehicles hungover anymore. Those have decided to fall to the wayside. Now I just fall asleep under the car. That's really about it. But I really have gotten to that point where I try and do very little outside anymore. I have a driveway it's not gravel, it's actually asphalt, but it's coming apart. So it's literally turning into like rocks. Yeah. And if you lay on it, it's laying on a bag of rocks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least my garage, it's a mess as far as when it comes down to a cement floor. It's a cracked up mess, but at least it's not harmful to your body. It's not going to puncture your skin. So a lot of times I just try and get the cars in the garage. And that's why I always like to keep them running. Like now I have this Mitsu that I really do think needs a piston. I really do think the rod is bent. So now I'm looking at it going, okay, what am I going to do with this dopey thing? Am I going to literally tear the hood off it and get in there and start pulling the head off and dropping a piston out of the cylinder? Not knowing how the condition of the cylinder wall is, I'm like, So the car is in flux right now. So I get it. But am I going to do this outside? Oh, no, I'm not.
Come on, Chris, why not? I mean, geez, you can make a video and have fun. I mean,
yeah. I'm going to have a ball. I'm going to watch my kid grow up from the window of the garage.
Well, at least you could be out. I mean, and of course, I'm on a main drag. I have a main road. So if I do anything out front, I always get at least 3 or 4 visitors. So and that's
nothing gets done.
Yeah, no, and that's a whole nother thing there. So that's why my wife goes, well, why do you got to do it in the backyard? I said, well, I got that fence, and you can't, but if I, you can't do anything out front.
Mm-hmm.
I had an asphalt driveway that came apart also, and once I concreted it was excellent. That was nice, and that's why I keep saying maybe I'll bring it around out front, but I'm sure that the local community will get tired of seeing a car sit out there for about 6 weeks with everything hanging out of it,
I'm sure. Yeah, I got the same issue here. The town constable will go by and start asking you questions. So,
yeah.
All right. And the funny thing is my garage actually points out right to the street. Mm-hmm. So I wish I had a garage that was like turned on its side. Like in Brooklyn, nobody saw what I was doing because you had these 2 houses and this long driveway and a gate. So you had to literally come up to the gate to see if I was there or not. And usually I saw you first. So it's not the case now. It certainly isn't. Now I'm pretty much when I roll open the garage door, if you're driving by, you see what's going on in there. I'm just kind of fortunate. I'm on a road that literally maybe 5 people go down a day.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's nice. But there are times I miss being on a main drag because I've always said if I was on a main drag, and I used to live on one, I would put a car like right in the driveway with a for sale sign. I think I made more money. Yeah. Just selling cars like right next to my mailbox. It was beautiful. I was having a ball just doing it. So
yeah, real quick on that note, whatever you want to get rid of, you just drag it down to the end of the street because, man, it is gone. I mean, I had one time, I don't know, it was a file cabinet or something, and I had it on a hand cart, and I'm like rolling down the driveway, and this dude like almost caused a 37 car pile up because, he pulls in the driveway and goes, "Hey, is that for sale?" I said, "No, you can have it." And he wanted the hand cart too. I mean, he wanted it all, So I was like, no, just the file cabinet, dude. Just the file cabinet. No hand cart? No. Why would it? Come on, man. So
you're getting it at a great price.
Yeah, just take it all,
Just take it.
All going. So, but yeah. But we're coming up on the end here. It's hard to believe.
Yes, we are. Another rapid hour here at MotorMouth Radio, and I think we've almost done it. Almost completed.
And I didn't run out of quarters.
No.
Oh my goodness.
And then a technology-driven show with Kimmy on the boards, who never saw her hands leave her arms.
Yep.
Did a fantastic job. So please listen to Thunder Road, which is coming up after this fine, upstanding, mediocre garden.
Nothing but hugs and kisses. I tell you, that was awesome. Right. Thank you very much.
Yes, and definitely if you're at the MALBA show, go give the birthday boy Ray Guarino a big kiss from us, and.
Ray might get a few offers. He might not know what to do.
Maybe, and ask him for his autograph. That's true. He does sign body parts at times. So catch him in a good mood. Brian, thank you so much for filling in for me.
No, I appreciate it. I love every minute of it. Hopefully, we haven't lost any listeners. That could be our, but hopefully, maybe a few joined. I don't know, but
the six that were listening, I think they're long gone by now.
But I appreciate it, and hopefully, I'll be back on soon. So,
well, thanks so much. Thanks for listening to MotorMouth Radio, and of course, we always say, Brian, what do we always say getting out of here?
Do not follow us home unless you got a good sandwich, because I'm starving.
Take care. Bye-bye.